Good morning. I love that senior sermons are a tradition here at the UPA. I'm honored and I've enjoyed being Nicholas Hope's mentor. I've known Nicholas for over 10 years and we've worked together for the past 4. I could go on quite a while about the things I admire about Nicholas, things we've done together, the way I've seen Nicholas grow from youth in the choir to a capable leader, very mature young man with strong ties to his family. But I also want you to know a little bit more about Nicholas, things you may not hear from him or be so obvious. Together we participate in youth group meetings along with numerous other activities, including things like brunches, walks, sporting events, cooking for Bristol Lodge, and even an escaping experience. On his own, he's hiked sections of the Appalachian Trail, participated in a number of the UPA summer community service projects like those in Appalachia. And there's one thing that really stands out, his maturity at looking at a situation. Our initial meeting was 9th grade, the first time we really met each other. We were told to go take a walk around the Auburndale neighborhood, introduce ourselves, get to know each other a little bit better. Talk ended up being centered around his upcoming confirmation. He had a lot of questions, the whole group did. I didn't have all the answers. We talked things through though. He had a wonderful way of questioning things, digging deeper. There's a lot of uncertainty. In the end, that entire class delayed his confirmation for almost a year until they had answers and they had a much better handle on things, and at least they understand how things are going. And a couple of weeks ago, we were having breakfast. We ended up talking about travel and other cultures. We were reflecting on different experiences. I could see Nicholas was thinking about something. Then he just asked, I wonder if they're happy in that situation. Always looking at the bigger picture, wondering about other people's points of view. I've learned to look at the world a little differently, thanks to Nicholas for that. Through our discussions, I know Nicholas has always challenged himself academically, balancing his running on various track teams, and most recently the Nordic skiing. Nicholas knows himself and what he wants. He has a soft-spoken confidence about himself. And one note about his future. Nicholas has decided to attend Colorado College this fall. I want to share one of the unique things I think about Colorado College. Besides the fact that it's located in one of the most beautiful parts of the country, Colorado Springs, just south of Denver. Colorado College's approach to class schedules is very unique. Instead of taking multiple classes at a time, Nicholas will be studying one class at a time, 3 or 4 hours a day, for 3.5 weeks at a time. They really dig into a subject, and they do that 8 times per year. Nicholas, thanks for your time together. Myself and the rest of the UPA congregation wish you success in college and wherever life takes you. And now it's time for Nicholas to share his reflections of his time at the UPA. Nicholas?
I saw Natasha walk up here without papers and got a little worried, but I think she planted something up here. So we'll be on the same page. I wanted to start off by thanking Tom. As many of you know, Tom has already had to get 3 children through their high school years, and all their other years for that matter. He volunteered to take on another one, although admittedly a little less intensively. It has made all the difference to me. From the start, he came to confirmation classes alongside me in the early mornings and walked with me in my journey towards confirmation. Like many kids in my generation, choosing to get confirmed was not as easy for me as I think it has been historically. I was legitimately undecided for a long while as to whether or not I was ready to make the religious commitment that getting confirmed requires. I even decided to wait a year longer than was expected from the curriculum. Ultimately, after many walks and talks with Tom and with my family, I came to the conclusion that it was right for me to step into a position of more responsibility within the church. Since then, Tom has been by my side through many other big decisions, such as what to order for breakfast at the pickle and which college to attend. When I first started the mentor program, I had the impression that it was designed to see me through confirmation and not much further. I'm grateful that I was wrong, and that I've had the opportunity to participate in a strong and caring relationship with you, Tom. Thank you. From the day my parents first walked into this church, shepherding my brother and I into the pew seats that would become ours for the remainder of our childhood, I think they knew it was the right church to land at. Much has changed since then. My mom and dad have watched pastors come and go, and then my mom watched my dad become a pastor. My brother and I went from playing sheep in the annual Christmas pageant to playing the shepherds that guided those sheep to playing the fatherless boy that the sheep came to seek. But in all this time, one thing has remained the same: the warmth and love radiated by the community that serves as the backbone of this church. In my time growing up here, I've always been surrounded by friendly faces. The first time I was introduced to Jean, I remember getting a big hug and a warm smile. Will, the youth minister at the time, shared her energy, and together I remember entertaining children's sermons from them. Sunday school right after that was good fun, and when I wasn't being mandated into a corner by my father due to excessive goofing around, I actually learned something. Thanks to the teachers who, it took me a few years to realize doubled as parents of children in the community, I learned a good deal about both historical and modern Christianity. After Sunday school, we would always rush up into the parish hall, where we would sprint around smiling adults to get to the snack table. When I grew older, I would talk to more of those smiling adults and hear some of the stories they had to tell, learning as I went. But at that young age, all I wanted was to get a few Oreos and some goldfish, and to go play our weekly games of hide and seek, which is exactly what I did every Sunday for years on end. During these games, I learned a lot about the church that I bet most of you don't know. I was planning on telling some of the kids here, but I think they all left. There's some kids here. So listen up to this part. Parents, maybe not so much. This church was built a very long time ago, and there are a lot of old hidden places you can explore. For example, Evan and I spent some time climbing through the walls above the altar here. And you can get above the bell tower where there's some really cool relics if you avoid the holes in the floor. There's an excellent hiding spot behind where they keep the choir members' robes that actually fits quite a lot of children for a good game of hide and seek. And it's possible to get into the furnace where there are literally just piles of coal sitting around. And somewhere in this building is hidden a large box of peanut butter crackers that are well sealed and don't expire if you're ever hungry while on an adventure. Between Sunday mornings, the Friday night events I used to come to, Thursdays after choir, and other odd times, I spent a lot of time in this church largely unsupervised, and I've left my mark on the building. To anyone that has ever used the bathroom down by the offices, the mark I'm talking about in this case is the door that's missing. One time a friend and I put too much weight on it, and it didn't hold up well. Yes, Doug knows about it, and yes, my parents know about it. It's still there to this day.
This is the first time I used to confess it.
But with all the time I spent running around causing trouble, came just as much, if not more time, doing good in the church. I'd like to think anyway. I already mentioned Sunday school, which made up a lot of that time. But now I'd like to talk about the other big reason I spent time in church and not at service itself: children's choir. Possibly the most profound impact any one person in this church has had on me came from Joy Douglas. From 2nd grade to 6th grade, I came to church after school just about every single Thursday during the school year. And every week, I would look forward to the 2-ish hours I would get to spend in Joy's presence, simply singing, practicing for the annual play, and having fun. I remember clearly how we would enter the parish hall and set up the chairs in 2 curved rows facing the stage area. We would goof around until everyone got there, and then we would all sit and do vocal warm-up exercises that, in any other setting, would have been a chore, but with Joy were unexplainably fun. And then Joy would pass out the music, and we would all sing and sing some more until snack time, and we sprinted down to eat fruit and goldfish, until we sprinted back up again to sing. Now, for the majority of my life, I've not been a largely musically or theatrically centered person. I do not often break out in song, and I do not voluntarily put myself on any sort of performing arts stage. But Joy was able to get me to do not only that, but to do it with raised chest and gleaming eyes and love every bit of it. Joy taught me that good enough was not good enough. She taught me how to sit patiently and calmly, always saying that one should be able to sit quietly for the number of minutes at their age, plus 2. She drilled into me that we were not here to be cute. We were here to be impressive, a lesson that has stuck with me stubbornly to this day. Most of all, Joy taught me how to work hard and have fun while doing it. Between Christmas songs I know every word of and languages I don't understand, plays to which I still remember the lines, and fond memories of getting a whole thing of munchkins on Sunday mornings that we came in early to sing on, Joy was exactly that in my life, a true and wonderful joy. She moved away 1 year after I graduated from the choir program, and I don't see her that often these days. But when she does come back to visit, I always get a big hug and the warmest smile imaginable. Since then, Hay has done an impressive job keeping the children singing on Sundays and introducing new programs such as the Youth Rock Band, which has been really cool to watch. After I graduated from the children's choir, most of my youth group participation came in the form of walk-ins, ski trips, and day hikes, often pioneered and excellently pulled off by Doug, my father, or other parents of kids in the youth group. The spirit of the groups on these trips was crazy fun and all-encompassing, and they were always worth it, even if I was a bit hesitant to attend them at first, as I'm sure my parents can attest to. The next big church memory I have is inspired by my mother's efforts in pioneering the mission trip to Kentucky and Tennessee. The past 2 years, I've gone on an Appalachian Service Project mission trip in June with the members of the youth group and a good number of adults. Because it is my mom, who in addition to taking care of Evan and I and working a full-time job, does most of the recruiting, communication, money handling, and general organizing, these trips are not optional for me. Which is a good thing, or I might not have gone on the first year when we went. To be entirely honest, I had no idea what to expect when we showed up at the community center, which was a church quite similar to ours in Boyd County, Kentucky, after flying and then driving for nearly a whole day. Our group of 20-something was given a few cleared-out rooms to sleep in and shown bathrooms we could use and where to find the cafeteria space. From there, we set up our pads and sleeping bags and went to eat our first dinner. What the meals lacked in aesthetics and fancy flavor was made up of pure nutritional value and the energy of almost 100 volunteers from our group and a larger group that joined us at the community center. The first night, we were given our assignments in groups, and from there we went off to work. The task in front of us was to do our part of an 8-week-long rehabilitation of rundown homes owned by people who barely had the money to buy their next meal, much less replace their floors, drywall, and water lines. I was lucky to have Lyman in my group, who knew a good bit about construction. And we were even luckier to have John, a veteran in the ASB industry, who worked in construction, joining our group for the week. With their knowledge, we were able to get a lot done, replacing drywall and the floors in the kitchen, installing new cabinets and fixing the water lines, and building fences and cleaning up the yard, all while still playing with the puppy that the owner of the house had just been given. Over the course of just 1 week, I became pretty close to the group I was working with. And we all got to know the owner of the house, of our family. We all got to know the owner of the family. We all got to know the owner of the house. And her family came in most of the days we were working. They would come in and out. It's a very different culture down there. They have huge families that just move around. Last year I went again, this time to Tennessee for a repeat experience. Instead of replacing drywall, we were digging trenches and exterminating wasps, but the general idea was the same. We spent a week answering the call of those in need, and I spent a week among people who wanted to be working with other people they trusted and cared for, to further a cause greater than themselves. I would like to mention how lucky I was to have Kristen in my work for both years. Rarely in my life have I seen such enduring positivity. She literally always had a smile at the ready. Whether we were about to be hit by our third thunderstorm that day, we realized we had to run to Walmart to get more materials we didn't have after just coming back from our lunch break, or I just complained to her that I needed a rest for the 16th time that afternoon. Kristen never wavered in motivating me and the others in our groups to get it done and have a good time, and she always had the Cliff Bars at the ready. For that and more, I'm grateful. In just those 1 week trips, I felt the power of the community here. People from a small church in Auburndale volunteered and actually spent their time and money to come together across the country to help people who they would probably never see again to rebuild their lives. They did this out of the goodness of their hearts, a goodness that is found here in this church. This year we are going again, except we are headed in a slightly different direction, to Mexico. My mom is taking a group down to just across the border where we will help refugees in crisis to do necessary work on both sides of the border. It is going to be an experience unlike any I've had, and will give me an opportunity to put in action the beliefs I've created over the last few years of political and moral turmoil regarding human beings entering our country. I encourage you to look into it, as every helping hand will make a difference. The last thing I want to mention is the pastors I've had in my time growing up here. I began by talking about Gene, but in all honesty, the majority of my church-focused memories featured Doug on the podium, and more recently, my father. When Doug first came to this church, he welcomed me into his presence from the start. I remember how he took time out of what must have been a very busy schedule as he was transitioning into a new church to take Natasha and I out to get ice cream and to get to know us. Since then, he has remained invested in all the youth under his watch. He goes on youth trips to ski mountains and hikes, and he came on a mission trip to Kentucky, where he was a huge proponent of ice cream trips after the workdays. Last year, I wrote a large paper on the role churches can play in our lives in the science-focused and modernized world we live in, and Doug set aside his time where I could interview him for the material I needed to write the paper. Doug has always been someone I could go to for help, someone that would be there for a good time, and it would be sad to see him go. For the first time in July, I saw my dad lead service in Hooper in front of a slightly smaller group than this. Over the past year, I've split my time between his church and this church, and watched him become more comfortable in his new profession as a pastor. Now, for most of my life, my father was a lawyer. People would ask what my parents did for work, and I'd respond confidently, they're lawyers. Nothing unusual for a kid from Newton. I'm glad he switched it up, because being a pastor's son makes for a much more interesting conversation. I don't mean to say that being the son of a lawyer isn't interesting. In fact, I could probably tell you more about real estate case law than about exactly what my father preached last Sunday. It's just that being a pastor's son is more unexpected, especially for people who know me. For some reason, they never see it coming. I certainly didn't see it coming when my father announced that he was going back to school to become a minister. Although looking back on it, it wasn't entirely unfounded. Between all the Sunday school classes he held, the Bible studies he attended, and his time as a moderator, he had some practice at the whole church thing. And I think it's been going fairly well. As far as I can tell, it's hard work running your own church and going to divinity school at the same time. But he's managing it, and he always likes to guide to Evan and I about getting A's on his papers. For my part, I'm hoping that attending 2 churches will double my odds of getting into heaven when the day comes. Either way, my father has shown me that it's entirely possible to follow your dreams and do something unexpected, no matter where you are in life. Despite the 9 a.m. wake-ups and the sometimes slightly annoying commitments it required, this church community has been an overwhelmingly positive aspect of my childhood. In all stages of life, I think it is important to have a community that you care for and that cares about you. For me, that has been this church. For the opportunities you've provided me and the memories I have made with you, thank you.
So friends, I'm going to invite us to move toward a close of worship, and we'll sing a hymn together, and then we'll switch to the lesson. So we don't have the opportunity today to share our prayers with one another in this context, but know that there's always room to speak with one another in the parish hall afterward. We can share the stories of our lives. For now, I'd like to invite you to stand and sing together, "Make Me a Channel of Your Peace." "Make Me a Channel of Your Peace" is found in the program as an answer. Julie is here representing the staff parish relations group.
Thank you, Doug. I'm also representing the interim selection committee who has been working to identify an interim pastor for the UPA. So please hear my words. That will also be sent to you in an e-blast this week. It is with joy and delight that we announce the selection of the Reverend Christopher Lyman Waldron as the UPA's intentional interim minister to begin in June. Chris completed his MDiv at Andover Newton Theological School with a concentration in world Christianity and comes to the UPA from the First Church Somerville United Church of Christ, where he joined the parish in 2017 and held the roles of support pastor and interim associate pastor. In earlier roles, Chris was youth pastor at First Congregational Church in Atlanta, founding pastor at Praxis United Church of Christ in Atlanta, and associate pastor at Bethel Church of Christ in Bethel, Ohio. It's particularly handy that Chris has also acquired IT skills in his own career development. Chris's wife, the Reverend Leah Lyman Waldron, is pastor at Park Avenue Congregational Church in Arlington, Massachusetts. Chris and Leah live in Arlington and are proud parents of daughter Davy, age 5, and son Gabriel, who was born in December. We look forward to welcoming Chris to the UPA beginning mid-June, and a more complete introduction to Chris will be included in an upcoming e-blast. Please join me in thanking our wonderful interim selection committee for their thoughtful process of discernment over the past several weeks, which I will add included some incredibly quick turnaround and some really intensive scheduling. So if you are in the house, would the following people please stand? Natalie Austrian, Karen Bean, Tony Miller, David Walsh, and Chris Finn, who was the chair of the interim selection committee. Thank you.
So in closing, I want to invite you, we don't do this a lot in this church because we like to kind of keep to ourselves, but this is a communal enterprise. Christianity is communal, not individual. I want to invite you to reach out to a person beside you and take a hand as we join together in the prayer we know as the Lord's Prayer. This is our closing prayer together. The Lord be with you. Let us pray. Please remain seated.